Today we're reviewing the movie Bad Grandpa.
Are we gonna get in trouble for this?
They won't notice a thing. That's how it looks most of the time anyway.
Alright, so let's get right down to business. I have two things to say about this movie before we get started into the actual review. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed this film, but I'm gonna be talking loads of shit about this film. So if you don't want to hear me, if you don't want me to spoil anything, please click off the video, because, like, the reason I think this was, like, a terrible movie is because I went in there with my head held high and some high expectations for a terrific film, and I got served with the somewhat funny and dragged out story that is the movie Bad Grandpa. Alright, so let's get right down to business. So this movie was definitely not what you would expect going into the movie theater. I saw Jackass 1 through 3. I've seen volumes 1 through whatever the hell it is. I've seen every episode on TV, every film of Jackass, and I went in expecting the hilarity from the Jackass crew. And I did not get that. Now, reason being is that the story was this terrible, like, thing, like they wrote it in 20 minutes kind of story. It is about the character Irving Zisman, which is played by Johnny Knoxville in a special effects old man suit, and a boy named Billy, whose mother has violated parole, and it is Irving's job to take his grandson to his father in North Carolina. Now, that is pretty much the story. I kid you not, that is the story to this film. The rest of the film features random activities that are filmed live reaction of people who were not told about what was going on until obviously after they had gotten their footage. So you're basically seeing scenes like you would see in Jackass numbers 2 and 3, where they had the old man special effects suit people with live reactions, seeing things that they weren't expecting, and then getting out of there. Pardon me. So you could see how this would be a bit of a disappointment. You go in there expecting, because they told everybody we have this full-fledged story going behind a movie that just is like this hilarity that is Bad Grandpa. And once again, I can't blame them for thinking this was going to be like the funniest thing ever, because they find the weirdest shit funny as hell. I mean, I can admit there's some funny shit that they do, and then there's some shit that you would go, why the hell would you do that, you know, like. There's that whole thing, there's that point where you're just going like, this is funny, this is not that funny, this is just disgusting. Now, they didn't have any of the, this is not funny, and this is disgusting. All of those scenes with live reaction, they were freaking hilarious. I can tell you right now, we were laughing out loud. But other than that, that's like, set aside 20 minutes of the film, that was the live reaction points of the film. 20 minutes out of an hour and a half feature presentation coming out of Hollywood in theaters. Like, I went and saw this movie, like myself, Matt, and Aaron. We thought the movie was, like, terrific, but I always have to give a thing, like, a day or two before I go and review it and give it my thoughts, because I have to get into that deep thought. I can't just be like, haha, I can't get over that scene, it's freaking hilarious, I dropped over laughing. I processed it, now I'm telling you my opinion. Anyway, the technical aspects of the film. They flipped back and forth between 1080p cameras, professional cameras, and like this like terrible like iPhone 3GS camera style. Obviously the 1080p film, like proper film camera, was used during the story portions of the movie, which is the majority of the film. Now, obviously the stunts were filmed because they wanted to capture live reactions. You're gonna get caught with the proper camera crew, so I can let that go. I can let it slide. But it seemed like, would it have been better being a movie that was done by actors? Because this is, granted, this is, like it says, a comedy film. And mind you, like I said, there are points in the movie where you actually, like, stop and laugh. If you don't find it funny, you're gonna smirk at least. I mean, unless if you're, like, some person who just thinks everything's god-awful. and it should be rated R, oh my god, like, which in the States it is rated R. I'm Canadian. The movie was 14A where I'm at, so we're obviously a bit less strict with our films than you guys are in the States. That's just how it is. I'm not talking shit, that's just how it is. But the movie featured jokes that were kind of meh, stunts that were funny as hell, and just overall, I didn't find the movie was as full-fledged as they had explained it and like showed off. Like they had basically made me believe, and probably everybody who else went and saw it yesterday on launch, think that it was going to be this fantastic, hilarious comedy film. It really was a movie that had, like, it was kind of quirky. It was like the movie Parental Guidance. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. The only reason I'm comparing that is because that's a movie that I would probably be like, that movie's kind of garbage, but there's some redeeming, like, funny stuff to it. Another example is when I first saw The Hangover when I was younger, when the first Hangover the first Hangover movie came out. I thought it, obviously, I didn't understand it because I was quite a bit younger than I am now. And now which there was the bits that I thought was absolutely freaking hilarious because you're a teenager and you laugh at those kinds of things. But now let me just finally just kind of give you my overall thoughts on it. Like, I can tell you one thing for sure. There was like about 15 people. It was me, the guys, and then their two buddies that Matt brought along with them to go see the movie. The theater was not packed. Out of 100 seats, that theater was not packed. And I don't know what to tell you. It wasn't a very, like, it wasn't a heavy hitter. Definitely for first day, it should have gotten more attention. That should tell you that it's not as big as it could have been right then and there. Obviously, I'm in a small town, so if it was in a city, packed. Most definitely. Now, I do not hate this movie by any stretch. I enjoyed it. It kept me entertained. I laughed. I did not cry because there's no sad parts to the film. There's like a bit of an acting part where he kind of has to cry to make it seem like it's real, right? Obviously, but you can tell it's like, this is so amateur. It's not even funny. But this film is definitely something you should go and see. I'm not saying by any stretch not to go and see this movie. If you are a fan of Jackass and just like overall you just enjoy a good movie, you should go and see it. It's a pretty good movie. But it definitely, if you go in there with expectations, they're going to be probably most likely let down, but redeemed throughout the funny parts of the movie. Definitely you should go and see it. Not hating on it, I just have my opinion, and I just let you guys give me the feedback on what you think about my opinion. Alright, this has been Josh, and I will catch you guys later in the next review video, whatever gets uploaded next. I will see you guys later. Peace.